What's going on, guys? It's your boy Panda here, and welcome back to the channel. Warzone, as we know it, is getting a drastic and much-needed overhaul with Modern Warfare 3's launch, and Warzone's looking to be integrated around December, so a lot of fingers are pointing towards like December 3rd or December 6th are the dates that we're looking for, so stay tuned for more on that. We'll have more info on that once that comes out, but Warzone is going back to its OG roots with some new dynamic changes that seem to be good for quality of life, and I can't explain how excited I am to get my hands back on a BR that isn't Warzone 2. But the question is, do we call this Warzone 3 or Warzone? Like, what do we call this? Before we go any further, the guys over at GFuel are hooking it up for the release of Modern Warfare 3 by giving up to 30% off with code PANDA, PANDUH, at checkout. There'll be a link down in the description for you guys if you want to go check that out. But I encourage you guys, if you want some clean, no crash, no jittery energy, GFuel's the way to go. I use it as my cup of coffee every single morning. It gets me going and gets me ready to edit and make my videos and play games all day long. So, any flavors you guys might not have had, try out a starter kit. I encourage you. Hype Sauce, Bahama Mama, Fruit Punch, those are three of my favorites. So, you can use code PANDA or the link down in the description. So the full movement system and everything involved with its slide canceling, strafe speed, ADS speed, reload canceling, everything is going to transfer over into Warzone upon its launch and integration. And the sole engine of Modern Warfare 3 is now going to be the foundation for all the studios to work on when it comes to keeping a seamless transition across all the games. So think of it as you have this core fundamental game and the engine of Modern Warfare 3, and now every studio is going to be able to put their creative touch on it while still staying continuous and feeling kind of that flow of Call of Duty from the years to come. One major thing that they also did say behind closed doors is that they are going to be having a new mantling optimization, which makes me think of rock climbing, because if you guys played Warzone 1, you know that climbing rocks was virtually impossible. It got better in Caldera and even better in the launch of Warzone 2, but transferring that over with the movement system and everything will be nice to see. And now for you movement gods and demons out there, the stim boost will be returning. We touched on this in a previous video, so that stim shot that makes your speed and movement go a little quicker is going to be making a return, which I personally can say is one of my favorite parts of Warzone. It was very fun when that whole movement system was starting to go on and people were just stimming and, you know, strafing left and right, back and forth. The clips that came out of it were awesome, so I look forward to seeing you movement gods tear up the new Warzone season. The base health without any kind of armor is going to be at 150, so that there is a seamless transition from multiplayer over into Warzone, which is nice to see. Speaking of health and armor, the armor plates are actually going to show up blue on the HUD rather than white, which is kind of just a nerdy thing for me, but I do enjoy that, as well as weapon color and loot rarity will be coming back, so like color coordinated loot, so your greens, your blues, your oranges, and your purples to kind of show how rare the loot is. That's something I think that should be fundamental in most BRs to show a difference in how good a gun is or how good a piece of equipment is, and so on and so forth. I enjoy that. The dedicated backpack slots are going to be set for ammo again, so you will automatically pick up the ammo you need and you'll fill those as they go, and if you want to carry more you can, but that'll take up an extra slot. A major one that I don't think a lot of people really know is something that's going on in Warzone is that red dots will be fully returning on the minimap when people fire unsuppressed weapons. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but Warzone 2, red dots don't show up on the minimap, which I didn't know that. I was unaware of that. I didn't really pay attention to it as much because I pay attention to my minimap a lot when playing multiplayer, but when it comes to Warzone, I'm really only peeking up to the top left if there's a UAV in the air or if there's something going on the map so I can see it, but I never really noticed that red dots weren't appearing, but apparently they're back, which is nice to see. When it comes to the water mechanics, if you guys know, in the last year or so, we've had this horrible water mechanic where you're underwater, and if you don't have a sidearm, basically a pistol, you were basically dead in the water. You couldn't shoot your main weapons. Don't know why that's still not a thing. I feel like you should be able to shoot your main weapons, but there's going to be every character in the game, every player, no matter who it is going to carry a secondary, or I guess a third weapon, because you'll be carrying two weapons, and you'll be able to use it in the water at all times, so everyone will have a pistol and have an equal chance of surviving. Now, that doesn't mean someone can't use another pistol that's a 3-round burst, like the Renetti or something, underwater on their own if they carry it as a secondary over your single-shot weapon, so there's going to be some ways to build your loadouts around that. So when it comes to perks, perk packages will be returning, and the gear and everything will not be coming into it. At least that's what we're hearing through the grapevine and behind closed doors. And it appears that perk packages will just be gettable from your loadout as well as purchasable from the buy station. And it looks like Ghost will be still doing the if you're not moving, it won't work. If you're moving, it will work kind of thing. Combat Scout will be making a return. So if you remember Combat Scout, very crucial perk where if you shoot someone, it highlights them in an orange outline. That's a perk that will be returning. Some people are recommending that gets switched to a like ping above their head rather than the outline of the player. I don't know. I liked Combat Scout. I feel like it added a little bit of differences to the game. It made you play a different way. But we also have a couple new perks that we're going to be getting. Shrouded, which drops a smoke grenade when down. Definitely interesting with the smoke meta we had in Warzone 2. Irradiated, which moves faster and takes less damage in the gas, which is going to be something that's interesting. You're going to be able to move. It reminds me of Serpentine, but for the gas in a sense. I wonder if Serpentine will make its return. Resolute, increased movement speed when damaged, which reminds me of Serpentine, so maybe that's the new Serpentine. I don't know. When you're getting shot at, you can speed up. That's what Serpentine was all about, and I will not forget that in Caldera. That was such a crazy meta. There's going to be zip lines across the map like we've had in previous Warzone where you can go vertically up and down, but there also is going to be zip lines that go horizontal to change their movement and how do you get across the map, as well as you're going to have the redeploy balloons or redeploy drones, whatever they're going to be called now, is going to be just spawning instantly on the map. They'll be around the map without any kind of future update to add them in. The big game bounty will be coming back. If you guys remember that from Warzone 1, if you killed someone with a big game bounty, you then were able to get an advanced UAV off of it. It was a good thing for players who played super aggro. The Champions Quest will be returning, but there's also going to be some changes to it. You still have to win 5 games in a row and then complete the new contract, but if you die with the new contract, the team that kills you can pick that up and only can happen one time, so they can then come and steal your reward and all that kind of stuff. All the tacticals, lethals, and I believe the kill streaks will all be available, which definitely is interesting if all the kill streaks are available, because I don't want to fight a jug running around with a shotgun, but we'll see how that plays into Warzone. The Gulag is going back to 1v1 3-lane small style Gulag, but there also is a twist that they're adding in. There could be an NVG mode, which is nighttime night vision mode, which I don't know how I feel about that. It's kind of up to interpretation, I guess. I'm going to have to play it to know my true thoughts and opinions, but instead of capturing a flag in the middle, there will be a zip line that drops down that you can zip out of there and then win the Gulag that way as well if you don't kill your opponent. So Gulag returning to the OG fashion, which is beautiful. I've been sick and tired of the Gulag we had in Warzone 2, and even some of Caldera's were pretty crappy. I miss the OG Gulags and how they felt. When it comes to the maps, we really didn't even talk about this. We're going to be getting Urzikstan as well as Vondel and Ashika Island will be coming. So we're going to be getting another iteration of Vondel, which is cool. I have a feeling it's going to be updated to the movement and kind of the mechanics that we have right now. So that'll be something. And then later in the year, we're going to be getting Fortune's Keep and the return of Rebirth Island. So it seems like we're going to have this big Rebirth kind of rotation going on, which will be cool and fun. Kind of like other games do, like Apex Legends, that have the rotation of their maps and stuff. PUBG, they also have that. So it'll be nice to see those. I don't really care for Ashika Island, so honestly, if we just had Fortune's Keep, Rebirth Island, and Vondel in rotation, I'd be really cool with that. I like all 3 of those maps. I'm excited to see what kind of gameplay changes and graphical changes they make for those and how they're going to play, but those are the maps we'll be getting. So as of now, what we've heard when it comes to weapons, every single gun in Modern Warfare 2 and every single gun in Modern Warfare 3 are going to be usable inside of Warzone, which is going to make a crazy meta, I have a feeling. It is going to feel like so much. If you remember Caldera, when they had the integration of all 3 games, you kind of could select through, but it was primarily they pushed those, Vanguard weapons to make them the more used weapons so people would buy the game and so on. Warzone is going to have Modern Warfare 2 weapons and Modern Warfare 3 weapons, which they all kind of feel similar, where those games didn't feel exactly the same because they were different time frames and different eras. So this will all be modernized weapons, so it'll be very interesting to see how this works. I am looking forward to using Modern Warfare 3 weapons. I don't understand the whole, I'm only going to use a TAC 56 or a Vaznov for my entire life and not touch any other gun in the game. I don't get that playstyle. It is your own if you do it, but it's weird to me. So I'm going to be sticking to learning and getting all the guns gold and maxing them out and doing what I have to do to use them inside of Warzone. So that's really going to be all the information we have on Warzone as of now. We're waiting for that integration in December. Excited for that. Can't wait to see that happen. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Turn on those post notification bells so you guys never miss an upload. And I will see you guys in the next video. Deuces, boys.